Suprabhatam, good morning. Today we are going to see the fifth lesson of Manika textbook for class 10, Abhyasavashagam Manaha. The word Manaha, asya artham asti manas, manas shabda asya artham asti mind. Abhyasena vasham gacchati Manaha. Gam represents gacchati. So the mind is one which can be controlled only by practice. Abhyasena, by practice, vasham gacchati. It goes under control. We can bring our mind under our control only by practicing. This is the title of the lesson. And here in this lesson, there are some shlokas from Bhagavad Gita which are selected for this lesson. They are selected from the various chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, but finally they give the meaning how mind can be controlled by practice. So the Bhagavad Gita, the great holy text Bhagavad Gita, is part of great epic Mahabharata, as all of you know. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. If I have to tell you the introduction of the topic, I hope most of you know about the story of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a story of fight between cousins. So Pandavas and Kauravas were cousins, they were relatives, but they couldn't settle a land dispute. Their kingdom, whom it should belong to, that was the dispute, and they couldn't resolve it by talks. Finally, they decided to have a war at the place named Kurukshetra. So the war went on for 18 days. That is what the epic story says. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he was in the side of Pandavas. He decided not to fight war with his army he doesn't want to participate in the war, but he chose to be charioteer of Arjuna, who is a Pandava. As Shri Krishna was best friend of Arjuna also. So before the war started, Arjuna wanted to see with whom he is fighting. So Krishna brings the chariot and he places it in the middle of the war field, and when Arjuna opens his eyes and looks around, he can see only his cousins, all his cousins, his relatives, his friends, his teacher Dronacharya, his grandfather Bhishma. So the war field was full of his relatives and friends. So at that particular moment, Arjuna feels like, what is the use of fighting the war and winning the kingdom, winning the land, and at the end of the war there is no relative left. And as we know, we cannot live without relatives and friends and family members, right? Our happiness lies with them. So at that moment, Arjuna feels it very hard to continue with the war. And then Bhagavan Shri Krishna reminds him his duties. Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, it is his duty to fight the war, because he is born in a clan Kshatriyas. Kshatriya's job is to protect their kingdom, protect their land. So through Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna tells all mankind that we are here to perform our duties. We are born on this earth to perform our duties, and we should perform them 100%. We should give 100% to our duties. So Bhagavad Gita consists of 700 shlokas. They are divided into 18 chapters. Basically, Bhagavad Gita talks about three main topics: bhakti, jnana, and karma. Bhakti is devotion, jnana is knowledge, karma is deeds, jobs. It's one overall introduction of Bhagavad Gita, I can say. Bhagavad Gita is a well narrated, well appreciated text all over the globe, I can say. It has been translated to all the languages, and the teachings of Bhagavad Gita are beyond the borders and beyond the religions, because it mainly talks about mental health, our personality development, our duties, our responsibilities. So whatever the things needed for a successful human life, those are discussed in Bhagavad Gita. So in this lesson, there are only 8 shlokas selected from the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So after this teaching, after this discussion, all Bhagavad Gita is in the form of discussion between Krishna and Arjuna. It is not that Krishna goes on preaching and Arjuna agrees. In between, Arjuna asks so many questions, many doubts. Whatever Krishna says, he doesn't agree, because Indian civilization, Indian mentality always believes on questioning. We need to question and get the answers. We need to be seekers of knowledge rather than simple blind followers. So Arjuna asks various questions, and Krishna goes on clearing his doubts. So this is compiled as Bhagavad Gita. And one more thing I want to say here, Gita here is Strilinga. That is one special status given to Bhagavad Gita. All other songs are Gitam, but only the teachings of Sri Krishna are called as Bhagavad Gita. Strilinga Shabdaha asti, Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Strilinga Shabdaha asti. So with this knowledge, Arjuna's doubts get cleared. Then he was ready to fight the war, and he successfully fights the war, and Pandavas rule the kingdom. This we know through Mahabharata story. Now let us start the lesson. Abhyasavashagam manaha. Abhyasavashagam manaha. Let us see the lesson. Vayam patham pashyamaha. Prathamam shlokam vayam gayamaha. Arjuna uvacha. अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पूरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः. So the first shloka, see the sandhi here, Arjuna uvacha is Arjunaha plus uvacha, lopa sandhi, because visarga joins with aswara, so visarga disappears. Visargasya lopaha bhavati, Arjuna uvacha. See the Anvaya is given in the same textbook. Varshneya atha kena prayuktaha ayam purushaha anichan api balat niyojitaha iva papam charati. So Arjuna asks question. Varshneya, see here, Varshneya atra Shri Krishnasya paryaya padam asti. Shri Krishnaha Vrishni iti vamshasthaha. So one of the ancestor of Sri Krishna was Vrishnihi. So person belonging to family of Vrishni is Varshneya. So Varshneyaha and Sri Krishnaha both are synonyms. Paryaya padani santi. Atha kena prayuktaha ayam purushaha. So Arjuna asks a very very important valid question. Atha, then, kena prayuktaha. Kena, by whom? Prayuktaha, motivated. Motivated by whom? Forced by whom or what? Ayam purushaha. Ayam eshaha. This. Purushaha ityukte purushaha. Person. Human. So this person, this human. Anichan api. Na icchan. Divide samasa here. Na icchan. Even if not wanting to. Also na plus na icchan. Balat niyojitaha iva papam charati. Papam charati, commits mistakes. Balat niyojitaha iva. Balaha, force, outside force. Niyojitaha, forced. So why a human being commits a mistake, though he or she doesn't want to commit a mistake, as if forced by some external force? See, what a beautiful question Arjuna asks. Hope even you people have thought about it. None of us want to commit mistake. We all want to be good people, right? Each and every one of us. But mistakes just happen without our knowledge many a times. So why do we commit mistakes? Why do we think in a different way, which is not a socially or lawfully accepted way? So Arjuna asks such beautiful question to Krishna. So if you see the sandhis or samasas here, prayuktoyam, divide the sandhi, prayuktaha plus ayam, purushaha, purushaha, paryayapada, anichannapi, na plus icchan plus api, varshneyaha, paryayapada Shri Krishnaha, bala diva, divide sandhi, balat plus iva, prathamasya tritiya sandhi asti. So this is the sandhi and samasa and anvaya and bhavartha of the first shloka. Let us move to second shloka. Shri Bhagavan uvacha kama eshaha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येनमिह वैरिणम्. So, for the question that Arjuna asked, why do people commit mistake even if they don't want to commit, as if forced by some external force? Shri Bhagavan uvacha. Shri Bhagavan ityukte Shri Krishna asti uvachah avadat, said, रजोगुण समुद्भवः एषः कामः एषः क्रोधः महाशनाः महापाप्मा एनम इह वैरिणं विद्धि. Shri Krishna says, Shri Krishna वदति, एषः कामः एषः क्रोधः रजोगुण समुद्भवः. So what is the reason of people committing mistake? So here Krishna tells one important thing. All of us, all humans, we always have three types of gunas with us. Hope you have heard the word guna. Guna, a conduct, a behavior, a character, which is innate part of our personality. So there are three gunas: sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva guna means being gentle, being good, being calm, being good to others, being very pleasant. At the same time, being strong inside. That is sattvaha. Rajas or rajogunaha is being dominating. I am not saying it in a negative sense here. Like being to be the topper, being to be dominating. The people who wanted to be leaders, they have this character of rajoguna. Here, the person always acts like he is above others. So, person always portrays themselves as the leaders or dominant people. Third guna is tamas or tamo gunaha, like being greedy, being lazy, this type of nature of our personalities. So gunas are, I can say, various shades of our personalities. No guna is good, no guna is bad. We need to have a balance of all three gunas, because all three are there in our personality. Depends upon our nurturing, our family, our surroundings, friends, our opportunities. So one particular guna is always dominant in every human. So this is the reason no two humans are same. Every human is unique, because we are all mixture of these three gunas. So this is what I wanted to tell about guna. So Shri Krishna says here, rajoguna samudbhavaha eshaha kamaha. So the desire, kamaha, desire, eshaha kamaha, born out of rajoguna. As I told you, there are three types of gunas. So whenever we are committing a mistake, the dominating nature of human beings comes into the picture. So it comes out of that rajoguna or the dominating nature. The desires start in our mind. When the desires are not fulfilled, eshaha krodha. Krodha, anger. We get angry. Mahashanaha, mahapapma. And these two are very strong feelings. Mahashanaha, uncontrollable. Mahapapma, very sinful. Enam iha vairinam vidhi. Enam, this type of feeling. Iha, atra, here. Vairinam vidhi. Vairi, shatruhu, enemy. Vidhi, understand. Oh Arjuna, you understand that this type of feeling is our enemy. Let us see the sandhi and samasa in this shloka. Shri Bhagavan uvacha. Shri Bhagavan plus uvacha. Bhagavan atra matup pratyaya asti. Bhaga plus matup. Kama eshaha. Kamaha plus eshaha. Lopasandhi. Krodha esha, krodhaha plus eshaha plus rajo. Atra lopasandhi asti. Rajo guna samudbhavaha, rajaha plus guna plus samut plus bhava. Mahashano, mahashanaha plus mahapapma, vidhyena miha. Atra pashatu sandhi asti. Vidhi plus enam plus iha. Vairinam, vairin shabda, pratama vibhakti, vairi asti. It is like gunin shabda, guni, guninau, guninaha. Vairi, vairinau, vairina. So this is about shloka 2. You can see the Anvaya and Bhavartha here. Now we shall see the third shloka. Idanim tritiyam shlokam pashyamaha. Shaknoti haiva yah sodhum praksharira vimokshanat kamakrodhodbhavam vegam saha yuktah sa sukhi naraha. So Krishna continues, Sri Krishna continues about kama and krodha, desires and anger. See the Anvaya. Yaha sharira vimokshanat prak kama krododbhavam vegam iha eva sodhum shaknoti saha naraha yuktaha saha sukhi bhavati. So yaha, any person, the person, sharira vimokshanat prak. As initially he explains, kama and krodha, desires and angers are always born out of our own body, our own mind, because of the three gunas, three type of gunas which exist in our personality. So it is highly uncontrollable. So at least we should make an effort to till our death. So he says, sharira vimokshanat prak, sharira, body, vimokshanam, to leave, till the Atma or our soul leaves our body, or what we call it as death. Before death at least, prak purvam, before. Kama krodhodbhavam vegam. Vegam here is anxiety. The anxiety which is created in our mind, which forces us to commit mistake, which is born out of kama krodhodbhavam. Kama krodha plus udbhavam, which is born out of desires and anger. Iha eva sodhum shaknoti. Iha eva, iha paryaya padam asti atra, here, in this, on this earth, or in that situation. Sodhum, saha plus tumun, to tolerate, to bear. If a person is able to tolerate it without exhibiting or without creating any accident, without creating any danger to others because of that desires and anger, if a person is able to do, sodhum shaknoti, able, saha naraha, that person, yuktaha, saha sukhi. So there are two adjectives, visheshanau sthaha. So saha yuktaha, he is a composed person. So when you are composed, you are happy. So sukhi bhavati. So such person is a composed person and happy person. So see the sandhi. Shaknoti haiva, shaknoti plus iha plus eva. Two types of sandhis there. Yaha sodhum prak purvam, before. Paryaya padam asti purvam. Kama krodhodbhavam, krodha plus udbhavam, gunasandhi asti, note down. Saha yuktaha sa sukhi, saha plus sukhi, sa sukhi naraha. So yuktaha sukhi, visheshane, two visheshanas for that saha, that person. Idanim chaturtham shlokam pashyamaha. Let us see the fourth shloka. Actually, shloka number 4 and 5, they are like together. The meaning comes together because though both the shlokas explain how a person who is under the influence of desires and anger moves towards destruction. Both the shlokas together they explain. I have drawn a flow chart of events which happen in our mind. So you can copy it down and you can refer it in future. And this lesson is not only about exam. I can say this is for your life. Please follow the flow chart always and save yourself from falling into that pit of destruction. Please stop it somewhere in between. Need some introspection. So let's start. Dhyayatah vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. So I have read both the shlokas together. Let's understand. Idanim pashyamaha shlokasya artham. Vishayan dhyayatah pumsaha teshu sangaha upajayate. See, Anvaya makes it easy to understand. Vishayan dhyayatah pumsaha. Vishaya has multiple meanings. Samskrita Vishayaha, Ganita Vishayaha, Vijnana Vishayaha. Any subject is also Vishayaha. Anything is also Vishayaha. Any information is also Vishayaha. So here what Krishna means is, Vishaya here is the attractions or the information, I can say. So when a person keeps thinking about the information, what he or she either it reaches her or him through ear, eyes, touch, or various type of sense organs. So Vishayan, the information, dhyayataha pumsaha. Dhyayataha, while thinking. While a person keeps thinking about the information, whichever is attracted his mind, teshu sangaha upajayate. Sangaha, attachment. You can only feel. It happens to us. When there is some information which is very dear to us, when we keep thinking about it, we get attached to it. Even we sit, stand, go out, even in sleep, even in dreams it appears because it goes into our mind. Our mind wants it if it is a thing to get, right? Steshu, in them, in those things or in that information. Sangaha, attachment. Upajayate, it develops. Sangat kamaha sanjayate. So when a person is too much attached to an information or a desire or a thing, kamaha sanjayate, that desire starts. Desire of getting it, desire of achieving it starts. Sanjayate, kamat krodhaha abhijayate. If the desire gets fulfilled, if it is a positive desire, fine. But all desires cannot be fulfilled, right? Because we live in a society where there are certain restrictions. There is certain law. So, when desires are not fulfilled, kamat, from that desire, krodhaha abhijayate. So, there is anger in our mind. Why I am not able to achieve it? Why I am not able to get it? This is the question. Krodhaha abhijayate. So in this shloka you can see upajayate, sanjayate, abhijayate. Upasarga is added to the verb jayate to happen, right? So various ways of saying the happen. So more or less it is synonym, I can say. Kamat krodhaha abhijayate. If you see the sandhi or samasa here, Sangasteshu upajayate. Sangaha plus teshu plus upajayate. Two types of sandhis. Sangat sanjayate. Sangat, you can divide it. Sam plus gat. Sangaha is sam plus gaha. Parasavarna sandhi. Again, sanjayate. Sam plus jayate. Parasavarna sandhi. Ma goes and fifth alphabet. Nya comes. So two sandhis there. Kamat krodho bhijayate. Krodhaha plus abhijayate. So we are at the half of the flow chart. Now person is attached to the information. There is an attachment. Because of attachment there is desire, strong desire in the mind, and that desire is not fulfilled and person is in the state of anger. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti bhramshat buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati. So Krishna continues. Krodhat sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha. Buddhinashat pranashyati. So the events follow like this. Person who is under the control of anger, because of the anger, krodhat sammohaha, the feeling of delusion starts. This again, we can understand this. When we are under the control of anger, we don't think which is right, which is wrong. We don't know what to speak, what not to speak. Whatever comes in the mind, it just comes out of our mouth. And whatever idea comes in our mind, we just want to do it. Because our mind is in the state of delusion. Sammohaha, delusion. Sam plus mohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. So when a person is in the state of delusion for a long time, smriti vibhramaha, there is an imbalance in the mind. Smriti, the thinking power. Vibhramaha. Vibhrama, Bhram dhatu, it has come from. Bhram is Bhramati. Mind start revolving around means there is an imbalance in the thoughts of the mind. The thoughts which appear in our mind, there is no sequence, there is an imbalance. We want to do, we don't want to do, we want to follow, not to follow. This type of imbalance starts. Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinashaha. When there is an imbalance, of course, we lose all type of logical thinking. Buddhi Nashaha. Buddhehe Nashaha. So destruction of logical thinking happens in our mind. Then Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati. What else is left? When we lost our mind, when there is imbalance in the mind, of course, our whole personality gets into destruction. As a person, that person who is under the influence of this type of feelings gets destroyed. He loses his health, his hunger, his sleep, and even he can lose his the job, or even sometimes his life also. So we need to stop somewhere. This flow of events towards destruction we need to stop. How beautifully Krishna explains. See here. Now see the sandhis. Krodhat plus bhavati. Prathamasya tritiya. Ta goes and da comes. Krodhat plus bhavati. Sammohaha. Sam plus mohaha. Sammohat, there is no sandhi, it is just a joining. Smriti Vibhramaha, here's the sandhi. Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinasho. Smriti Bhramshat plus Buddhinasho, Nashaha, Prathamasya Tritiyaha. Again, Buddhinasho plus Buddhi. See the sandhi there, Utva, Buddhinashaha plus Buddhinashat. Pranashyati. If you can see the samasa, Buddhinashaha, Buddhehe Nashaha. Destruction of logical thinking. Smriti Bhramshaha, I hope you are able to divide samasa. Smritehe Bhramshaha, Smritehe Brahmanam, moving. Smriti Vibhramaha, again Smritehe Vibhramaha. So these are the sandhi and samasa in this shloka. Idanim Shashtaha Shlokaha, 6th shloka now. Tasmat Tvamindriyanyadau Niyamya Bharatarshabha Papmanam Prajahihenam Jnana Vijnana Nashanam. So after explaining this, Shri Krishna continues. Bharatarshabha Tasmat Tvam Adau Indriyani Niyamya Jnana Vijnana Nashanam Enam Papmanam Hi Prajahi. So he advises Arjuna. Through Arjuna, he advising us. He advises the mankind. He advises humans. Bharatarshabha, Bharatarshavaha, Bharata plus Rishabhaha. It is referred to Arjuna. So Rishabhaha, a very strong bull. So bull born in the dynasty of Bharata. Just to emphasize the strength of Arjuna, he uses this adjective. Bharatarshabha Paryayapadam asti Arjunasya. Tasmat, therefore, Tvam Adau Tvam. Atra Tvam Padam Arjunaya Prayuktam. You may get a question in the exam. Tvam, you. Adau, Adi is at the beginning. Beginning, Adi is beginning. Adau, at the beginning. So, at the beginning of this process, how to stop it? Because once that process starts, you have seen in the flow chart, it goes towards destruction. So what it is better to do? Always prevention is better than cure. So at the beginning, Adau, Indriyani Niyamya, Indriyani sense organs, Niyamya, Ni plus Yam plus Lyap. After controlling the sense organs, Jnana Vijnana Nashanam, Enam Papmanam. Papmanam, the sinful thought. Enam, this sinful thought. Then what kind of sinful thought it is? Jnana Vijnana Nashanam, which destroys your knowledge, which destroys your logical thinking, which destroys your decision making capacity. Jnanam, knowledge, Vijnanam, special knowledge or decision making power. So this sinful thought which destroys your knowledge and decision making power, he prajahi, prajahi, to kill. He is used here just for the chandas purpose. Chandas is the mathematics of writing the shlokas. So he doesn't have much meaning. Prajahi, to kill. So you kill that sinful thought which destroys your knowledge and your logical thinking. So what is the significance of Indriyani Niyamya here? Have you seen the flow chart? It all starts from the information, Vishaya, right? How information reaches us? It reaches through our sense organs. We hear things, we see things, we taste things, right? We touch and experience things. So all our sense organs help us to gather information. If it is good information, yes, fine. What if it is bad information, which is not at all supportive to our development? Or maybe the age where we are in. If it is not supportive, what is the use? It takes us towards the destruction. So what is the best way? You cannot stop information. We don't have control over that, right? And we cannot stop desires. So as we know, it is mind, human mind, and it thinks. Then we don't have control on anything in that process. So, but we definitely have control on our sense organs, right? So better to control our sense organs and stop this series which leads us towards destruction. See what a valuable advice Sri Krishna gives. Have control on your sense organs. Do not allow sense organs to rule you. You rule the sense organs. See what a valuable, what a nice, good advice Sri Krishna gives us. If you see the sandhis here, Indriyanyadav, Indriyani plus Adav, Yan Sandhi. Niyamya, already have told you, Ni plus Yam plus Lyap, Lyap pratyaya asti. Bharatarshabha, Bharata plus Rishabha. Hyenam, He plus Enam. Vijnana Nashanam, Tatra Samasa asti, Vijnanasya Nashanam. I think this is the Sandhi and Samasa in this shloka. Astu, idanim vayam saptamam shlokam pashyamaha. So the conversation continues. Arjuna uvacha chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramathi balavadridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. So Krishna advises, control your sense organs. But is it that easy? We all know that we have to control our sense organs. I think we have read about it, we have heard about it. But how to control, right? See, Arjuna, like a very disciplined student, how he poses the question to Krishna. Oh Krishna, it is hard to control. What to do? See, Arjuna represents us, all of us, I can say, who struggle to control our mind, who struggle to control our sense organs, right? To stay in the right path of life. So, Arjuna uvacha, already this sandhi is discussed. Arjunaha plus uvacha, lopa sandhi asti. Krishna manaha hi chanchalam pramathi balavadridham. See Anvaya there. Krishna, oh Krishna. Manaha, mind. He chanchalam. Chanchalam, restless. What can I do? My mind is very restless. How restless it is? Pramathi balavadridham. Pramathi is turbulent. Hope you have all experienced that feeling of turbulence. Generally in aeroplanes we feel it. Once again, we are under the influence of that turbulence. We are totally helpless. We have to put our seat belts and sit firmly in our seat. That's the only thing we can do, right? But we all feel so scared, right? Because of that turbulence. So Arjuna compares it here. Arjuna never says it is aeroplanes. I am giving you that example. So he says it is like a turbulence. Pramathi is a turbulence which just doesn't allow us to stay firm. Staying in the sense, our mind firm. Pramathi, how turbulent it is. Balavat dhridam. Balavat, very strong. Dhridam, firm. Firm in the sense, it is very strongly, it moves around in the mind. That feeling of restlessness moves in our mind, which is, we just cannot control it. Thoughts keep coming. Many you have felt it. I have felt at least. Whenever I am in such a situation where I am helpless and when I don't know the answers, thoughts just keep coming in my mind. How much ever I say, oh mind, please stop it. No, it doesn't. So I always remember Arjuna at that point. Yes, how correct he was. So he says, it is my mind is turbulent, it is restless, and it's very strong turbulence. What can I do? Aham tasya nigraham vayoho iva dushkaram manye. So he gives an example how difficult it is. Aham I. Hope you know who is I here. Atra aham padam arjunaya prayuktam. Arjuna is aham here. Tasya nigraham control of that is that feeling which is making you restless. Tasya nigraham vayoho iva dushkaram. Vayuhu, wind. It is as hard as controlling the wind. Just try to control the wind. It is not possible. It is not even visible, right? We can only feel it, right? Then how to control it? It's impossible, next to impossible, right? Unless we have some scientific methods. So vayoho iva, like wind, dushkaram, very hard. Duhu plus karam, very hard to control. What can I do? How to control it? You are saying that you control your mind, control your sense organs, but how? That is Arjuna's question here. So here I want to give an example. If you write the spellings of mind, M-I-N-D, and just make first M ulta, just make it reverse, so it becomes W-I-N-D. Have you seen? So mind and wind, even the spellings, they are like they just replica of one another. Mind is like wind is like mind, I can say. So it is very hard to control. So we should be always careful whatever the thoughts appear in our mind, because once it goes out of control, done, our personality is gone. So see the sandhis here. Chanchalam, cham plus chalam, parasavarna sandhi, ma goes and nya comes. Balavat dridham, balavat plus dridham, prathamasya tritiya. Balavat, there is matup pratyaya also. Bala plus matup, balavat. Tasyaham, tasya plus aham. Vayo riva, vayoho plus iva, ratva sandhi. Su dushkaram, su is upasarga here, just ignore it. Dushkaram, there is sandhi. Duhu plus karam, very difficult. So this is about this shloka. इदानीम् अष्टमः श्लोकः, 8th श्लोक. श्रीभगवानुवाच असंशयं महाबाहो मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम् अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येण च गृह्यते. So Krishna replies, Mahabaho asamshayam manah durnigraham chalam kaunteya etattu abhyasena vairagyena cha grihyate. So Krishna gives a trick, a tip for us to control the mind. How to control the mind? Mahabaho, Maha, great, Bahu, shoulders. He's just appreciating the physical strength of Arjuna. See what a good counselor Krishna is. Arjuna is in the state of depression, right? He is feeling helpless. So he tries his level best to boost his morals, to appreciate his. He just tells him, see, you are in the previous shloka you have seen, you are born in a great family of Bharata, Bharatarshabha, he says, right? So here he says, Mahabaho, he gives an assurance. Physically you are such a strong person. Why are you like this? Why are you forgetting your duties? That is the message he wants to convey. Mahabaho, oh strong shouldered person or oh mighty person. Mahabaho, Mahabahuhu shabda, Mahabaho sambodhana vibhakti. Asamshayam, na samshayam, no doubt. Manaha durnigraham chalam. The mind is durnigraham, very hard to control. He agrees, Krishna agrees that. Nigraham to control, durnigraham, hard to control. Chalam, which is always on the move. All of us have experienced this, right? Mind never stays even for 1 second. Some thoughts will be coming in our mind, always. Chalam, Kaunteya, Kuntyaha putraha, son of Kunti. So he reminds him his family, his mother also. You, the son of Kunti, Kaunteya, etat is this mind, the mind. Abhyasena vairagyena cha grihyate. So he gives two tips. Abhyasena, by practicing. So the controlling of mind is not one day's job, 1 hour's job, or 1 month or a year's job. It is like continuous. Abhyasa is practice. Practice is continuous. It should never stop. By practicing, next another tip, vairagyena, by developing detachment. So all the problem starts with the wrong thoughts, wrong information that reaches us. So if you can have a little bit of detachment towards certain things, you can just tell, yeah, this thing I can acquire, but not now. It's not the right time to get it. Any gadget, any habit, anything to eat, or any travel, anything which is not suitable for that time of the life, we can just tell our mind, yes, we can wait. There is long life ahead, I can do it later. Right? When you postpone it, maybe tomorrow your mind might think a different thing. So, Vairagya is, it is not that running away from the things, it is just telling our mind that it can wait. Developing a sense of detachment from that any attraction or which is bothering us, whatever the thought which bothers us, you can control your mind. These are the only two things to control the mind, because we can't see the mind, we don't know where it is, but the mind is one which controls our body, which controls our life. Right? So this is the advice Sri Krishna gives us. Now see the Sandhi and Samasa. Asamshayam, na samshayam, nan tatpurusha samasa. Mano dur nigraham. Two sandhis here. Manaha plus dur plus nigraham. Kaunteya, I think already I told you, Kuntyaha putraha, no sandhi here, it's a pratyaya to say that son of Kunti. Cha grihyate, no sandhi here. So this is about shloka 8. So through these 8 shlokas, Shri Krishna tells us how to have control on our mind and control on our life. Hope you students, you take this lesson as lesson for your life rather than for exam, and follow Krishna's advice, and I wish you all the best and have a wonderful life.